Yes, she tries to, but she can't love Bethy as I do, and she won't miss her as I shall. Beth is my conscience, and I can't give her up. I can't. And Joe's face into the wet handkerchief despairingly, for she had kept up bravely till now, and never shed a tear. Lorry drew his hand across his eyes, but could not speak till he had sub- subdued the choking feeling in his throat and studied studied his lips. Let me highlight this one. No, it's red. It might be unmeaning, but he couldn't help it, and I'm glad of it. Presently, presently, as Joe's sobs quieted, he said hopefully, I don't think she will die. She's so good, and we all love her so much. I don't believe God will take her yet. The good and dear people always do die, groaned Joe. But she stopped crying, for her friend's words cheered her up in spite of her own doubts and fears. Poor girl, you're worn out. It isn't like you to be fallen. Fallen. Stop a bit. Let me highlight this one again. I'll hearten you up in a jiffy. I don't know. I'll hearten you a bit. I'll hearten you up in a jiffy. Laurie went off 2 stairs at a time, and Jo laid her worried head down on Beth's little brown hood, which no one had thought of moving from the table where she left it. It must have some magic, for the submissive spirit of its gentle owner seemed to enter into Jo. And when Laurie came running down with a glass of wine, she took it with a smile and said briefly, I drink health to my Beth. You are a good doctor, Teddy, and such a comfortable friend. How can I ever pay you? She added. The kind words had refreshed her troubled mind. I'll send in my bill by and by, and tonight I'll give you something that will warm the cockles of your heart better than quarts of wine, said Rory, beaming at her with a face of suppressed action at something. What is it? Cried Jo, forgetting her woes for a minute and her wonder. I telegraphed to your mother yesterday, and Brooke answered she'd come at once, and she'll be here tonight, and everything will be all right. Aren't you glad I did it? Rory spoke very fast and turned red and excited all in a minute, for he had kept his plot a secret for fear of disappointing the girls or harming Beth. Jo grew quite white, flew out of her chair, and the moment he stopped speaking, she electrified him by throwing her arms around his neck and crying out with a joyful cry, Oh, Laurie! Oh, mother! I am so glad. She did not weep again, but laughed hysterically and trembled and clung to her friend as if she was a little bewildered by the sudden news. Laurie, decidedly amazed, behaved with great presence of mind. He patted her back soothingly, and finding that she was recovering, followed it up by a bashful kiss, which brought Jo around at once, holding on to the banisters. She put him gently away, saying breathlessly, Oh, don't. I didn't mean to. It was dreadful of me, but you were such a dear to go and do it in spite of Hannah that I couldn't help flying at you. Tell me all about it, and don't give me wine again. It makes me act so stupidly. I don't mind, laughed Laurie as he settled his tie. Why? Why, you see, and so did Grandpa. We thought Hannah was overdoing the authority business, and your mother ought to know. She'd never forgive us if anything happened, you know. So I got Grandpa to say it was high time we did something, and off I pelted to the office yesterday, for the doctor looked sober, and Hannah must must took my head off when I proposed a telegram. I never can bear to be lauded over, so that settled my mind. Lauded. Alrighty, and I did it. Your mother will come, I know, and the late train is in at 2 a.m. I shall go for her. And you've only got to bottle up your rapture and keep Beth quiet till that pleasant lady gets here. Let me highlight a word here, which is this one. Yeah, where am I? Laurie, you are an angel. How shall I ever thank you? Fly at me again. I rather like it, said Laurie, looking mischievous. A thing he had not done for a fortnight. No, thank you. I'll do it by proxy when your grandpa comes. Don't tease, but go home and rest, for you'll be up half the night. Bless you, Teddy. Bless you. Joe had backed into a corner, and as she finished her speech, she found precipitately. I like this one. Precipitately. I don't know how to pronounce this word. It is, wow, like a pain in the neck, I'd say. Into the kitchen, where she sat down upon a dresser and told the assembled cats that she was happy, oh so happy, while Laurie departed, feeling that he had made rather a neat thing of it. Alrighty, that's the interfrangist word. I need this one too. Chap I ever. I hope Miss March is coming on right away, said Hannah with an air of relief when Joe told the good news. Meg had a quiet rapture and then brooded over the letter while Joe set the sick room in order, and Hannah knocked up a couple of pies in case of company unexpected. A breath of fresh air seemed to blow through the house, and something better than sunshine brightened the quiet rooms. Everything appeared to feel the hopeful change. Bet's bird began to chirp again, and a half-blown rose was discovered on Amy's bush in the window. The fires seemed to burn with unusual, and every time the girls met, the pale faces broke into smiles as they hugged one another, whispering encouragingly, "Mother's coming, dear, Mother's coming." Everyone rejoiced, but Beth. She lay in a heavy stupor, alike unconscious of hope and joy, doubt and anger. It was a piteous. I think it's piteous, I'd say. Okay, have it. And I think I need this one. Maybe it's an old English, but I need it. The once rosy face so changed and vacant. Vacant, what a word. Vacant, alrighty. Know what I'm doing. Vacant, the once busy hands so weak and wasted, the once smiling lips quite dumb, and the once pretty well-kept hair scattered rough and tangled. Alrighty, what I'm doing. Tangled on the pillow All day she say so, only rousing now and then to mutter water with the lips so parched they could hardly shape the word. All day Joe and Meg hovered over her, watching, waiting, hoping and trusting in God and Mother. And all day the snow fell, the bitter wind raged, and the hours dragged slowly. Night came at last, and every time the sisters, still sitting on either side of the bed, looked at each other with brightening eyes, for each hour brought help nearer. The doctor had been in to say some change, for better or worse, would probably take place about midnight, at which time he would return. Hannah, quite worn out, lay down on the sofa at the bed's foot and fell fast asleep. Mr. Lawrence marched to and fro in the parlour, feeling that he would rather face a rebel battery than Miss March's anxious countenance as she entered. Laurie lay on a rug, pretending to rest, but staring into the fire with a thoughtful look which made his black eyes beautifully soft and clear. The girls never forgot that night, for no sleep came to them, as they kept their watch with that dreadful sense of powerlessness which comes to us in hours like those. If God spares Beth, I never will complain again, whispered Meg. If God spares Beth, I'll try to love and serve him all my life, answered Joe with equal fervour. I think it's fervour. I don't know. It's hard to pronounce this one. I wish I had no heart. It aches so. It aches so, sighed Meg after a pause. If life is often as hard as this, I don't see how we ever shall get through it, added her sister despondently. Here the clock struck 12, and both forgot themselves in watching Beth, for they fancied a change passed over her wan face. The house was still as death, and nothing but the wailing of the wind broke the deep hush. Weary Hannah slept on, and no one but the sisters saw the pale shadow seemed to fall upon the little bed. An hour went by, and nothing happened except Laurie's quiet departure for the station. Another hour still no one came, and anxious fears of delay in the storm, or accidents by the way, or worse of all, a great grief at Washington, haunted the poor girls. The poor girls, I think I'm going to